Time for some more weekly attempts, except I'm still tired as fuck. It's surely end out really good. Cause like again, this is a really cool pattern. It just sucks how this the challenge tied to it. They have to really balance the challenges out.
If you put
This is a. I'm not saying that this is like weekly 8 poorly
you
balanced,
put your account as 18 plus.
but it is still not as balanced as it should be.
You have to have an ID.
And also the fact that it relies entirely on the first segment leads directly into a ceiling carve, and this one is very inconsistent. You have your hand in the same place and do the same actions, and you still somehow fail half the time and get it done sometimes.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent,
You just have
which
to move
sucks.
your
I don't like
body.
inconsistency.
Rock your body, rock that body.
Because, like, the weeklies don't really count. The consistency problem is simply thanks to human error, because they don't account for human error. Because people can't do the same thing over and over again. There's going to be slight differences. And those differences are so subtle that only the computer can tell. People can't tell when they're making a difference, because that's just within the range of human error, so they can't really tell. Because, like, what did I do differently? No fucking clue. No fucking clue what I did differently from that attempt that get me to just fuck me up there. And other attempts that actually let me get past that segment and get to the final jump. Oh, fucking voice crack. I don't know what the fuck I did differently. Only the game knows. All I know is that something was different, but you don't know what went wrong. That's the thing with the damn weeklies. You can tell that something was wrong because the game can tell something is wrong, so it doesn't give you this. So it doesn't give you a good output. It doesn't. You do a slight misstep on the input, and it fucks up, and it gives you a widely different output. Like, you can't tell what you did differently in some attempts and other attempts. Like, I don't know why sometimes I have my hand above my head, and it proceeds to then just bonk, but somehow I get bonked on the head. Somehow, apparently my head hits first, even though my hand is above my head. Which doesn't make any sense. Only the game knows why that happens, I don't, and it doesn't give me any feedback on why it happens. It just told me that that happened. It doesn't give me any feedback on how or on why it happened. It just says, suck it up, bitch. You failed. You don't know why, though. And why I bounced off there. Why did I bounce off? Even though I was turning as I landed on there, which should have activated a ceiling carve. Because the game only tells you that something bad happened. You get no feedback. Which just makes you feel like you're stupid because you don't know what the fuck to do differently. Even though in your head, even though to you, you did practically nothing different. You know something different happened from an attempt where you got to do the ceiling carve, an attempt where you just bounce off, but you don't know what went differently. You don't know what you did wrong because the game only tells you that something did wrong. Because these things only tell you that something went wrong. They don't tell, even though they're the only ones who know that something, what went wrong, they don't tell you what went wrong, and just expect you to be able to, expect you to figure it out so you can not do the same mistake, when they don't tell you what the mistake even was. How are you supposed to fix a mistake that you don't even know existed? That you don't know what it is. You can't fix something that you don't know what. That was entirely just a skill issue there. I didn't carve enough and I didn't break enough, causing me to line to the bottom side. But the things you can actually tell what the fuck you did wrong are so few and far between with a lot of the challenges that this game has. That's why Drift Ball is such a popular thing, because it is consistent. It is no variable other than the players. But those are other people causing the variable, not the game. Creating something that you feel like is just so stupid. That's why people don't like the weekly challenges as they are. Because they're a good challenge, but they don't tell you how to fix your mistakes. They just want you to fix the mistakes. They don't tell you what you even did wrong. And I don't like that.
I got a question. How do you do that, like, skip with the.
And, like, yeah, sometimes you can tell what you did wrong, but most of the time in weeklies, you can't tell what you did wrong. Like, I continued raising my hand there, as you should, with a ceiling carve, but apparently I did something wrong, even though I was still turning, and I was still raising my hand even higher, which means I should have stayed in the ceiling carve instead of falling. I did something wrong, I know that, and that's all I know. Because I started the ceiling carve, so it can't be anything in the way I started it. It was what I was doing during the ceiling carve that the game didn't like, kicking me out of the ceiling carve. And there, I tapped the ceiling, even though my hand was in the same consistent place. I tapped the ceiling, and then I just dropped down like a fucking anvil in a cartoon. But I don't know what the fuck went wrong there. All I know is that the game wanted to just not activate a carve even though I was turning. All I know is that the game had a hissy fit and bounced me off of the ceiling even though that shouldn't have happened. Because, like... Okay, I fucking missed it. As if it matters that I didn't make the jump because I missed that fucking cube. I feel like this weekly challenges should have a tiny bit more leeway. Not a bunch of leeway like a couple weeks back with the big boulder and the part where people would run to the zip line and then gain speed on that to come back in and still have more time to make a couple mistakes, because that's way too much leeway. But I feel like they should have a tiny bit of leeway. Because, like, you can only... This weekly does have a bit of fuck. Why am I blanking on the word I was just using? Fuck. Leeway? At that segment right there, where if you overjump it, if you're fast enough, you can climb up the you can climb up the little barrier and continue the weekly. This thing over there. If you fasten, if you jump over it, like say I didn't land on it, but instead I jumped over it and landed on this. If you're fast enough, you can climb up of it. You can climb up it and launch yourself back. And if you play your cards right, you can still complete the weekly. But no other segment has any leeway. That's the only segment that has even a tiny bit of leeway, which kind of sucks. You might be able to have some leeway at the ceiling carve part if you manage to launch yourself onto it, and then you can just get on top of it, which I guess could make the ceiling carve segment a bit easier. But that's saying you don't drop like an anvil. Instead you immediate. And that's also assuming you fail the ceiling carve right off the bat. So a tiny bit of extra leeway there, maybe, but it's not a lot. I feel like the weekly should have a tiny bit more leeway, where you can make a little bit more mistakes and have to play literally perfectly.
I have a question.
Because I feel like we're playing perfectly, that should go to the harder challenges in the game. That you have as much time as you want to practice and get used to, instead of you have a single week to get introduced to the challenge, practice the challenge, and then complete the challenge. You can't have a Master Gym level difficulty challenge for a weekly, as that takes forever to practice, and only the people who have already completed all the Master Gyms and already know all the crazy tech in the game have a chance at completing it. Because if you don't know all the crazy tech in some weeklies, congratulations, you're screwed. Like this one, Revolve needs you to do ceiling carves and wall carves and a bunch of segments, and I slowed down too much. Which means that if you don't already know how to do them, you're kind of screwed on this one. Because I already knew how to do a ceiling carve, I just wasn't consistent. And as I continued practicing the weekly, I got more consistent. Because that's all the leeway you have in the time limit. for like when the weekly's around. If you have, or you have to know what and how what you need to do and how to do it.
What the fuck? Was this 2016?
You just need to get a little bit better at it. Because if you had no clue how to do a ceiling carve, you were kind of screwed. I get it's only Friday. We still have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and the first half of Thursday, and the first half of Tuesday before it leaves. But still.
Oh no! I said I shall stay on the soul.
Okay. I guess we're doing this backwards now because I feel like it. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm launching off into space. No, I'm not. Thank for the boost that you get at the end if you force cancel a challenge. And the fact that I'm pretty sure I've seen people with the circuit pattern in this lobby, I don't know. I think I have. And still, no one's got a completion since I came in. Tells you how inconsistent weeklies are. That people can literally have already completed them and still be inconsistent with them. Seriously, you need a break at that because it's such a small carve for you to get a 90-degree turn in when you're going that fast. But if you carve too much, you're too slow. That one is just is incredibly strict. And then this is a difficult segment.
What am I doing?
Because if you can get up here, you can just win. If you can get up here and you time... Why am I not able to do this instead of an actual attempt? I've made it to this part where I just need to do that jump twice in previous attempts, but I just cannot manage to make the jump. I made it there twice yesterday. It was either yesterday or Wednesday. I don't know. Then I made it there twice. In both attempts, I failed at the exact same part. The landing of that, where I landed my hand on top of it, but it kicked me out. Instead of on the platform that has no slant, or a slant facing away from me, so I should be able to just slide up. And I pull myself up, but it kicks my body off, launching me away. Which makes no sense. Okay, bro, what the fuck, dude? What do you mean? Bro, why does my head itch so much? It just started to want to fucking itch out of the blue. It didn't want to itch before that, now it wants to itch. Like, what the fuck? Logic. I seriously had to lean back slightly in real life. There we go, now I just need to hopefully complete this. Let's go. Let's go! I did it! Let's go! I did it! We'll use this to launch myself all the way over to Scrap Run, because that's where the closest thing is, surprisingly. Patterns. Circuit. There's also... Where is it? Circuit colors. And honestly, I might not use the circuit colors, I might use a different color scheme. Because I like the circuit pattern. Probably not this color scheme. But I did it. Yippee. Camo? No. Storm looks fine. You know, I like this. Now I'm using circuit in fire colors game, so I'm still using a part of the fire pattern in my appearance now, which is cool. But circuit pattern. I did it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. I did it. And 2 of the skips I brought up for difficult segments I didn't do because they're honestly more difficult to pull off
Do you have any back?
than the actual thing. Now, if you're bad at sealing carves,
Address, I can. This is timing races, guys.
and if you're terrible at sealing and wall carves, then you can do those. But hey, I did it. Yay, 48 seconds. I actually have the fastest time in recent times by 19 milliseconds. Okay. I'm gonna end it there because I finally beat the weekly. Hope any people watching this can complete the weekly. I was just expecting this to just be me having a yapathon of why the weeklies kind of suck as a concept, kind of, I guess, while doing some attempts, not actually managing to win while doing a yapathon about the weeklies. Hope any of you can complete this. Please subscribe, it would really help me out a lot. And goodbye, and see you probably tomorrow. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna go back to my daily thing yet because I'm still slightly sick. Goodbye.